This is the Uncanny Excellent Men 196. This is by Christopher Clairvoyant and Junior, and this is like the next part in my look at the history of Nimrod, off of my name. I look at a Nimrod appearance every 100 videos, I look at them in order. Nimrod, he's not actually in this one, but it does continue some of the little storylines, so I thought I would still look at it. Plus, I just did Secret Wars II, and this is a tie-in. It takes place after that first issue. This cover is shit though. It took us years to work out what it's meant to be. This is Rachel Phoenix, and she's wearing a mask for some reason. And she's just killed all of the Excellent Men. And now Wolfman has to stop her. Not like this happens in the comic. But there is an idea of a murderer and an alleyway. But Rachel Phoenix isn't the murderer, and the murder isn't in an alleyway. And she doesn't wear a mask in the comic. But this issue is about Rachel Phoenix, and when it comes down to it, the reprint cover is much better. This really reflects the actual contents well. This is a story about Rachel Phoenix, Rachel Ascendant, and this art, it's by Wallace Gromit. I consider this cover to be well and truly above this rubbish one. I mean, it's not bad art, it's just a bad cover for this issue and this story. Dr. X, he senses something again with his big muty brain. And you might think this is going to be a repeat of the scene from the start of Secret Wars II. But actually, he is teaching at university. And in his class of students, well, he senses that one of them is going to commit a murder. Then we have got a relevant subplot about Christopher Clairvoyant's favourite character, Storms. And we find out how even when she is all alone in Africa, and she has no superpowers whatsoever, she is still just the best Excellent Man and the most brilliant of them all. And even the local lions who live in the wild, they are like her friends. Then she gets shot in the head. Of course, she survives this because, well, it's Storms, written by Christopher Clairvoyant. And these two characters here, they were introduced in 194. The lad, he is the guy who goes on to be Swordman in Thunderbals. This is another reason I felt I wanted to still cover this issue, even though Nimrod isn't in it. Up front, that is his sister. She appears in Thunderbals as well, but nowhere near as prominently as her brother. The Excellent Men, they have gone out for breakfast, and they invited Mr. Magnets along, because this is just after they teamed up in Secret Wars II #1. And right now they're discussing what to do about Beyond a Man. Dr. X also tells them about how he sensed one of his students is wanting to kill another one of his students. Here we've got a quick mention of Nimrod. The waiter, he thinks that Nimrod is a hero for sticking it to all the dirty, stinky muties. But before the Excellent Men can order their breakfast, Beyond a Man walks into the cafe, and Rachel Phoenix goes out to confront him. And they're both like cosmic god power characters, or absolute bullshit characters, as I like to call them. So their connection and eventual fight, it's one of the more worthwhile ideas that comes from Secret Wars II. Then we have got a really good scene. Yes, this is me saying something incredibly positive about Christopher Clairvoyant. This scene with the Smurf questioning his faith now that he has encountered Beyond a Man, this is good. It's using part of the crossover to tell a little story with one of the book's characters, and this is exactly the sort of thing I like to see tie-ins do. Honestly, this is a really good scene, and like there's no bit where he's like thinking, oh, I bet Storms wouldn't ever doubt herself like this. She is a much better leader than me. So this is like a rare bit of unconditional praise for Christopher Clairvoyant. Although I'm not actually reading it out because it's still overwrought and long-winded, and nobody really talks as melodramatically as this. So we're back with what I think is meant to be the main plot of the issue, the campus murder. There's a group, they're planning to murder another student who they think is a mutie. And the excellent men, they're going to try and find out who. Rouge, she's flying Rachel Fenix around, and Rachel Fenix, she's trying to use her psychic powers to find either the victim or the would-be killer. And then this boy here, he was spray painting on the wall saying Nimrod #1. And it's always nice to meet one of me fans like this. And Beyond the Man, he's watching all this because he's intrigued by Rachel and he sees her as like a potential equal. Then Buffy Pride, she has a puff of Wolfman cigar in what some people would probably call a classic scene. But not me. And then we have Christopher Clairvoyant doing something else he loves doing, which is writing around excuses to have Buffy Pride say the N-word and get away with it. So they attack her because, of course, by chance, she found the killers. So then we have got Rachel Fenix. She's telling Dr. X and Mr. Magnets about how she senses Beyond the Man and how he's in the room with them and how he's been kind of stalking her. And Rachel Fenix, she gans Super Saigon, and she blows up the building with her mind. I think this page here is what the cover is meant to be like referring to. Like the one bit where her powers went out of control and Wolfman gans to make sure she's okay. But Rachel Fenix, her powers, they're like untapped now. She is at her full potential and she detects Buffy Pride in trouble and where she is, just because she can do that apparently. And she gans to save her, and the guy who Buffy Pride so affectionately called the N-word, he fires a gun at Rachel and she redirects the bullet back at him, but before it hits him, it stops because Mr. Magnets stops the bullet from killing him, because Mr. Magnets is such a soulful saint who never meant to cause anybody any harm. And then Mr. Magnets, he lectures Rachel Fenix about how wrong it is to murder humans for being mean to muties. Yeah, Mr. Magnets, you know, the guy who tried to exterminate the entire human race. He is the moral high ground in this tiresome debate that you will get to see loads of in the next few issues. The only story that Christopher Clairvoyant really had for Rachel Fenix was to keep giving her loads of power-ups and then have completely inappropriate characters like Mr. Magnet or Wolfman lecture her about how she shouldn't kill. So Mr. Magnet, the global terrorist and mutie extremist, he convinces Rachel Fenix that it is wrong for her to kill that guy. And we end with Beyond the Man. Didn't forget him. He witnessed all this and he twirls his metaphorical moustache, evilly thinking that he wants to know more about this Rachel character. I don't even know how to evaluate this one. It's like, for every step forward Christopher Clairvoyant takes, he takes 2 steps back. There's a nice scene with the Smurf. So here's a ludicrous ending where the excellent men's arch enemy is preaching ethics. And also, this cover, I mean, this is definitely the much better cover. I rate this 7 thumbs up.